This is Turn from Your Wicked Ways by the Honorable Yahweh, Beit Nun Sophie Yahweh, Yahweh ben Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh. Hallelujah, Yahweh. Zak Ve'inat. The Ricochet Yahweh. How do we love Yahweh? How do we love our brothers and sisters? What is our motto? We're all for one. And do we want for our brothers and sisters? What about Sue? And anything else? What is the duty of a Hebrew man? What is the duty of a Hebrew woman? And the be that turns from the law? Praise Yahweh. Who's the God of all gods? Who's the King of all kings? Who's the Lord of all lords? Who is our president? Who is our governor? Who is our mayor? Who's our leader? And who do we follow? Then let everything that has breath again, welcome. I said earlier that all the prophets are black. So let's take a look in the Bible and see what color Solomon was. Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5. Pull out your Bible, go home, look in your mother's Bible and your grandmother's Bible and get the shock of your life. Because what I'm about to let you read is in your grandmother's Bible. Let's gather in dust at home. All right, let us read. There you see that Solomon is black. Right in your Bible. So if Solomon was the wisest king to ever live, where? 1 Kings chapter 4, verse 31. Y'all made up your mind. Read.
For he was wiser than all men, than Ethan the Ezrahite, and Heman, and Calcol, and Darda, the sons of Mahol, and his fame was in all nations round about.
All nations knew Solomon was the wisest man. And what color was the wisest man? Black. King of Israel, proving that Israel is what color? That means we've been thinking the wrong people were chosen. All the time, the people who thought somebody else was chosen was blind to the knowledge that it was them. Okay, let's go to prove the prophets were black. Jeremiah 8:21. Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 21. Read.
For the hurt of the daughter of my people am I hurt. I am black. Astonishment hath taken hold on me.
People of the Bible, black. And I can prove this for hours, going from Genesis all the way through Revelations, that we are the people spoken of in the Bible. Israel was led into captivity. Jeremiah 13:19. Jeremiah chapter 13, verse 19. Read.
The cities of the south shall be shut up, and none shall open them. Judah shall be carried away captive, all of it. It shall be wholly carried away captive.
Judah is carried away captive. Does it say what color Judah is? Jeremiah 14:2. Read.
Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
Judah,
and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up.
Judah is black. Jerusalem belongs to Judah. Judah is carried away captive. Let's turn to Genesis 15, 13, and 14 and find out where they would go and for how long. Read.
And he said unto Abram, Know of a surety that thy seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. And also that nation whom they shall serve will I judge, and afterward shall they come out with great substance.
Now, I think it's St. Augustine. You could go to St. Augustine, and there used to be a great big statue out there in the middle. I went and saw it. And it said the first black slave was sold in Florida in 1555. Subtract 1555 from 1989, and I think you'll get something like 434 years. So the only people that have been carried away into captivity in a strange land is black Judah, children of Jerusalem. Now let's go to Acts chapter 7, verse 6. The Bible is your history. Acts chapter 7, verse 6. Let us read.
And Yahweh spake on this wise, that his seed should sojourn in a strange land, and that they should bring them into bondage, and entreat them evil 400 years.
We would be brought here and treated evil 400 years. One scripture say we'd be brought. Did it say we would be brought by ship?
Deuteronomy 28:68.
28:68? Deuteronomy 28, verse 68. We would be brought by ship. Read.
And the Lord Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you.
We were sold into slavery. Judah, who used to own Jerusalem, black. Now, in Genesis, we read that, where Yahweh was talking to Abraham. And since Judah is the children of Abraham, and we're Judah, then we're the children of Abraham. Now we want to find out what our nationality is in Genesis.
It's 14:13.
Chapter 14, verse 13. Genesis chapter 14, verse 13. We've been called colored. We call ourselves Negroes. We call ourselves black. Now they're telling us to call ourselves African American. That means black folk don't know who they are. Say, what's your nationality? I'm colored. Colored, honey. Then we stopped. We didn't like colored no more. We became other things. All right, read.
And there came one that had escaped and told Abram the Hebrew.
Abraham was a Hebrew, so his children are what?
Hebrew.
His grandchildren are what?
Hebrew.
And those that would be brought into slavery for 400 years would be what?
Hebrew.
So therefore, we have been cut off from the knowledge that we are Hebrews. So let's go to Psalms 83.
1 through 5.
1 through 5. and see what happened to us, why we don't know, we Hebrews over here calling ourselves colored, Negro, blacks, and all this stuff. And other people call us niggas, coons, jigs, and a lot of other funny names. Psalms chapter 83, verses 1 through 5, read.
Keep not thou silence, O Yahweh. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O Yahweh. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance.
Now that didn't happen to Jews. The only people who have been cut off from being a nation is us in America. We're the only people that don't remember Israel and thought it belonged to somebody that the Bible says it doesn't belong to. Now, we've been going to church all our lives. Why we don't know this is in the Bible? It's in the Bible, that the Bible talking to us. Why we didn't know that? Because whoever you were under didn't know that either. 1 Kings chapter 9, verses 5 through 9. 1 Kings chapter 9, verses 5 through 9. All right, read.
Then I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever.
How long?
Forever.
Now, Israel, nobody called the Israeli or Jew is ruling. They're fighting. Everybody in the Middle East is fighting to kick them out and kill them all. No peace. But the throne is to be established forever to somebody that's black, Judah. Right? Judah is black, and the throne is to be established forever. We're sitting over here on the bottom without Yahweh. On the bottom. Let's start again there.
Then I will establish the throne of thy kingdom upon Israel forever, as I promised to David thy father, saying, There shall not fail thee a man upon the throne of Israel. But if ye shall at all turn from following me, ye or your children, and will not keep my commandments and my statutes, which I have set before you, but go and serve other gods and worship them.
Now wait a minute. You see what that said? Here's a condition. It says, if you do not keep my commandments, but serve other gods. Look at that now. Look. And serve other gods, because we're getting ready to read further. If you don't keep my commandments and serve other gods, something's going to happen to you. Read.
Then will I cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them.
Hold it. See what happened? If you don't keep my commandments, I'll cut Israel off out of the land that I gave them. They won't even remember it's their land. Cut off means, boy, you're in trouble. You don't know nothing anymore. You can't see it. You don't know about it. You don't know it's yours. Other nations got together after we wouldn't keep Yahweh's commandments and cut us off from being a nation. Yahweh said he'll cut us off from our land that he gave us. Were we cut off? Yes. You ask my people in America, where are you from? Some say America. No, before, where were your parents from when they came on the ship? I don't know. Some people say Africa. And then if they ask you, where in Africa? You sure enough messed up then. Look, let's don't talk about the past. Let's start. See, we got to start now. That's a person don't want to face up to. They don't know. So they start talking loud and screaming, let's forget the past. But see, nobody else forgets the past. If you want to forget the past, go to the public schools, tell them, stop history teaching. Just don't have no more American history and no more English history, no more European history. No. See, we don't believe in nothing from the past. See, you have to be consistent in your position. If you don't want to remember nothing of your past, you should demand not to be taught anything of anybody else's past. Praise Yahweh. So since we all were required to go to school and learn about all people's past, well, when I come to you and you can stand and tell me all about the proclamation, the Emancipation Proclamation, you can tell me all about the Boston Tea Party, you can tell me all about 1776, you can tell me about the war between America and England, and you can tell me all about the war between the North and the South. And I mean, you can just get an A. And then when I ask you, well, what about your history? Where did you come from? You want to get an attitude and put your hand on your hip. Let's forget the past. Just got through giving me a discourse, made an A in it. That's not fair to yourself, to treat yourself like that. I'm showing you what they won't teach you in the public schools. And you don't learn anywhere else. No other place can you learn what I'm teaching you. And it's important to find out who we are. Since nobody taught you, somebody has to teach you. Right? All right, so now we see in 1 Kings chapter 9, verses 5 through 9, that because we did not keep the statutes of Yahweh, God said he would cut Israel off from their land. And when they found out that we were cut off from our land, then the nations got together in Psalms 83 and said, well, let us finish cutting them off. They've been cut off from their land, let's cut their mind off. Let's kill their memory of Israel. Why would they want to kill our memory? We'll find out in a minute. Let's go on with this. Read.
And this house which I have hallowed for my name will I cast out of my sight, and Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all people. And at this house which is high, every one that passeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss, and they shall say, why hath the Lord Yahweh done thus unto this land and to this house? And they shall answer, because they forsook the Lord their God Yahweh, who brought forth their fathers out of the land of Egypt, and have taken hold upon other gods, and have worshipped them, and served them. Therefore hath the Lord Yahweh brought upon them all this evil.
See why we've been treated evil? Look at this knowledge. We used to be high. We're catching hell. And the nations know why we're catching hell. When their children ask, why are the black folk in America catching so much hell? They won't come and tell you why you're catching hell. They whisper to their children, why? Because he turned his back on his God. So that's what the book says. Now let's find out about Judah in 1 Chronicles 28:4. Let's see what Yahweh chose Judah to do. What color is Judah? Bible says so. How do I know? The Bible told me so. First Chronicles chapter 28, verse 4. Read.
Howbeit, the Lord God Yahweh of Israel chose me before all the house of my father to be king over Israel forever. For he hath chosen Judah to be the ruler, and of the house of Judah, the house of my father, and among the sons of my father, he liked me, to make me king over all Israel.
Here is black Judah chosen to rule forever. Now look around the earth and tell me where black Judah is ruling. They're missing, aren't they? Whoever black Judah is couldn't possibly know it, because the Creator said you have rulership forever. You know how long forever is? That means that there'll never be a time that you don't rule. Now, can you understand why nations got together and cut you off from knowing this? Right? What's wrong? We've been cut off. And our God cut us off because we would not keep his laws, statutes, and judgments. Yet he chose us to raise us high above all nations. Deuteronomy 7:6. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Deuteronomy 7:6. The laws of Yahweh include keeping all his high holy days. Passover, Feast of Unleavened Bread, Feast of Weeks, Memorial Blowing of Trumpets, Day of Atonement, Feast of Tabernacles. He requires us to keep that. We are blessed and made rich in your face because we are doing what Yahweh said to. He said, keep it, we keep it. Look what he's doing for us. We're the only people on the planet Earth in unity. We are united. We are together. We are one. We're the only ones. Other people come together, but they're not united. Read.
For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God Yahweh. The Lord thy God Yahweh hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
So we're in trouble because we did not obey our God. We've been brought to America, put into slavery, kept here and mistreated 434 years because we turned our back on Yahweh. So the antidote to our trouble is to return.
2 Chronicles 7:14.
Where?
2 Chronicles 7:14.
2 Chronicles 7:14 is the answer to all your troubles. Everybody got troubles? Here's your answer. Second Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14. Read.
If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land.
Sin is transgression of the law. John chapter 3, verse 4. John chapter 3, verse 4. Sin is transgression of the law. The reason why you pray and don't get heard is you're a sinner. So you have to turn from your wicked ways to get heard. What is sin? I used to ask everybody I knew all my life, what is sin? They say, well, don't wash your hair on Friday. Don't get your hair straightened and don't paint your fingernails. Don't go to a movie. Remember those days when you ask what is sin? Don't chew tobacco. Don't cuss. Call us. But see, none of that is what sin is. John chapter 3, verse 4 tells us what sin is. Read.
Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law.
Where's the law found? The Old Testament. What do the churches say about the Old Testament? Say it doesn't count. But the New Testament says it does count. Because if you don't keep the laws of Yahweh, you're a transgressor. And if you transgress the law, your prayers won't be heard. Isaiah chapter 59, verse 2. Prayers won't be heard, breaking the law. Pray all you want to. Nothing happens. Isaiah 59, 2. Read.
But your iniquities have separated between you and your God Yahweh, and your sins have hid his face from you, that he will not hear.
See, some of you have to write that down. That's a new one for you. You haven't been here in a long time. Isaiah 59:2 is new to you. You sure have to write that down. Your iniquities and your sins cause Yahweh to hide his face from you. He will not hear you. The God of heaven will not hear you as a sinner, transgressor of the law. When you break the laws, you won't be heard. And you can't get healed by no faith healer. Because his prayer is not heard. And after he lay your hands on you, 3 months later, you'll die from cancer. See, as many faith healers running across America, couldn't be a need for a hospital. More hospitals in America than anywhere on earth. The hospitals are full of faith healers. You know, come on, for real? They paid that sucker to get up out the wheelchair. He said, break the law, he doesn't hear it. Ask a faith healer, does he keep the laws of God? He'll tell you, no, I'm under grace. There's not that much grace in the world to get you past the law. So this high holy day is all about Feast of Passover, unleavened bread, one of the laws. That's what we're doing. We're keeping it. We have a wonderful time. We learn the truth, and the truth sets us free from ignorance. Now, some of you wonder, well, why are we so rich? Why are you so rich? How do you get all of this money? You're so successful and prosperous. Let's look at Joshua 1:8 and you'll see why we're prosperous and have great success, good success. Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. Teach you why we have money. Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. You want money? You want to be rich? Here it is. Read.
This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success.
You don't get rich, prosperous, and successful from a mojo. The root doctor gets rich when thousands of you come to him. But you can't get rich like that. If it were so, all the goober dust my people have spread around, they ought to be the richest folk on the planet. We have all kind of stuff in our pocketbooks, all up around. Yeah, our people are something else. And they'll come around and sprinkle stuff in your house too. And you be running around thinking you have bad luck. Well, how many want to change your luck? You just read it. Meditate in the law. So you don't need luck. You can make your own ways. How many would like to have a real, true, honest to goodness blessing from Yahweh? You'd like to know how to have a true blessing. Permanent blessing. You'd like to know? Okay. Let's turn to Proverbs chapter 10, verse 22, and let God turn you on to a blessing. Let me show you where the blessing come from and how to have it. Proverbs chapter 10, verse 22. Read.
The blessing of the Lord Yahweh, it maketh rich, and he addeth no sorrow with it.
All you have to do is accept the name of the God of Israel, your God, and let Yahweh bless you. Look that name up in your dictionary, Y-A-H-W-E-H, and you'll find it's been there all the time. It may be in the back of your mama's Bible, even your grandmother's Bible. And the reason you're going to have to come face to face with the God of your forefathers is I have caused a controversy to be in the land of Pharaoh America. Why is there controversy? Because there's no truth nor knowledge of Yahweh in the land until I come. I come with the truth and the knowledge of Yahweh here in Pharaoh America, and it's causing a shake-up. It's causing a metamorphosis to take place. It's causing a people who have been lost from the knowledge of themselves. They're now asking the question, who are we? Who am I? What am I here for? And you asking the same questions that was asked when we needed deliverance in Egypt under Moses. I sent him as a pre-runner of mine so that you would at least be a little bit familiar with what I'm doing. And you haven't changed much since the days of Pharaoh and Moses. But they asked the question, who is this God? Yahweh. Who is this? You say, who sent you? Moses. Who sent you? And Moses said, the God of your forefathers. And they said, well, who are our forefathers? He said, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Their God. So they had another question. Well, what was his name? See, Moses had to be prepared. Because he didn't grow up knowing the name either. He grew up knowing about Pharaoh. I had to be prepared. I grew up knowing America. And I come to tell you that the God of your forefathers, who are Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, raised me up to teach you the truth about yourself. Solve that mystery that you've been suffering from, the lack of knowledge of your nationality. Yahweh is his name. And to make sure that you have to talk about him since I called you to talk about me, see, I knew everybody would have to talk about me because of the nature of my work. But knowing how you were in the past, I took care of certain conditions up front. I knew in advance of my coming that if I had a name separate from my father, you would try to make a distinction. And I knew you'd try that because, see, you some pretty sharp folk at keeping things all divided up. See, I knew up front you love division. You complain, but you still love. Oh yes. Oh yes. Our people who used to be colored love division. You know, our people, you know, the ones who used to be Negroes, I said love division. Our people, you know, the ones who used to be black, love division. I'm talking about our people in America. You know, the ones who now call themselves African American. They still love division. Love it. And they stand around on street corners all my life saying, what colored folk need to do? Learn to stick together. You know, if we stuck together, we could do anything. I mean, just imagine if 1,000,000 of us stuck together and just put up $10, we'd have $10 million. I mean, they get to be mathematicians, can't count to 10, but they can multiply colored people by money. But colored people love division so that they would begin to say, yeah, man, but who'll be the president? The secretary and the trustee and the mother. You know, see, we love division, and you know you can't trust colored folks. You know, colored people are still, man. Colored leaders will be gone with the money. No, we need unity, but love division. And then when we became black, that didn't change. When we changed to Negroes, it still didn't change. And guess what? All these African Americans running around. Love division. No, why do I have proof we love division? If we didn't love division, we'd be united. Huh? I mean, we love being separated. If we didn't, we'd be together. Everybody admits, see, if we were united, we wouldn't catch hell. So that was that teach us. Since we're not united, since all black folk all over America will tell you, if we were united, we wouldn't catch hell. And since we go ahead and stay divided anyway, what does that tell us about hell? We love hell. That's why we greet everybody we know every morning with hell. I'll say that again. I said, we love hell so much that we greet each other all over America with hell. Hello. Hell is low. And we all greet each other with a low mentality, a low spirituality. So before I talk about Passover and Feast of Unleavened Bread, I thought I'd better bring some of these issues to the conscious mind, just in case you want to know who you are. Well, I'm here to tell you who you are. You are the children of the Most High, Yahweh. All descendants of slaves here in America. You are the children of the Most High, Yahweh. Your nationality is Hebrew Israelite. Your last name, your common last name is Israel. And our Father took care of that by giving you a land called Israel. And that gives you the same attachment to nationality that everybody else has. Hebrew Israelite. So you speak a language called Hebrew. And that makes you on the same par with all other people in regard to nationality. What does it mean to be the children of the Most High, Yahweh? That means you have to come into the knowledge of Yahweh to understand your relationship to Him and His relationship to you. And the only way that you will know how important you are in being chosen by Him is to know about Him. When you know about Yahweh and you find out that you are His child, that means you are in line for an inheritance. Scriptures teach all good men leave an inheritance for their children. Proverbs 13:22. Pull your Bible out. Turn to Proverbs 13, verse 22. Yahweh, being the good man, has the greatest of all inheritances for you. Proverbs 13:22. Read.
A good man leaveth an inheritance to his children's children, and the wealth of the sinner is laid up for the just.
Now, how many of you know you have sinned? Okay. Now check out what the Creator Yahweh says is going to happen to all the wealth of sinners. Sinners are going to work and make billions and hundreds of billions and trillions of dollars, building up great mansions and leaving it to their children. But check it out. Yahweh said, work on, all you sinners. Build it on up. But you and your children are not going to enjoy it. Your enjoyment is but a temporary phenomenon. With all the wealth of you sinners is being accumulated for another group of people called the just ones. Now, the question I'm about to raise now is only for intelligent people. That's all this question I'm about to ask is for. All that the sinners accumulate is getting piled up to be given to the just. And you all admit you're sinners. Now, how many of you want wealth eternally? Okay, well now, if you're a sinner and you want wealth eternally, only the just are going to have the wealth eternally. So if you're a sinner, what are you going to have to do? Change! I'm walking to let let that sink in. Because see, some of us are too tired to change. When we read the scripture, if you read that at all, you would never have thought about that like I just presented it to you. You'd have read on past that and tried to get to, well, what, you know, yeah, I wonder if my daddy gonna leave me something. He seemed to be a pretty good man. Because it really sounds good. Have you ever noticed how the wicked, how wills, huh? And they got it fixed up. They try to fix a will up through perpetuity. I mean, this old wicked devil, no, he's gonna die. He's been so mean and evil and mistreated so many people all his life and robbed everybody. Got $1 billion. And he don't want nobody good to ever get in it. So he tries to draw up a will that'll last forever, and all kinds of foundations and organizations. And he said, this is for my children and grandchildren and children's children in perpetuity. Trying to beat the prophecy, trying to get around the Creator Yahweh's decree that all you accumulate, you old wicked fella, is going to end up in the hands of the just. Now, we had over 300 years experience of working for nothing. Today, you know, we really kind of like overwork, underpaid, and we hardly have enough money to do what we want to do with it. What? I mean, how many are cutting corners now trying to shave and make ends meet and things? I mean, really, for real. Be honest with yourself now. I mean, you try to run a few curves on some money, right? I mean, a lack of money makes you nervous. Knowing that there's no more paychecks, it disturbs the being. It upsets the man. But all those people working for Eastern must be wicked. There was 30,000 folks working for Eastern. They went on strike. 30,000 was working there. They all fired. Those fools struck themselves out of a job. If they had a chance to do that again, they'll start over, you know, say, hey, it's better to have a job, man, and have some food than nothing. Yesterday, they were laughing at people on welfare. Today, they're on welfare. All the money you get in your hot little hands as a sinner is going to end up in my pocket. Because I'm a just man. Now, how many of you would like to share in my inheritance? You'd like to be a joint heir with me. See? Yeah. How many know tonight how to become a co-heir with me? All you have to do is what? Change. That's all it takes to be rich. Guaranteed by God, Yahweh. This is a God creator who made the sun, moon, and stars. He guaranteed what I'm saying. See, this is a man whose word never fails. That's what the Holy Bible is all about. You read from Genesis to now, everything he said happened. Everything he ever said always happened. I love to sing and talk and praise a man that has that kind of record. Never fails. Never, ever. When I read this Bible from Genesis to Revelation, I see a man that's so powerful that he tells his enemies in advance. What he's going to do through a man like little David. Say, David, go out and tell Goliath, this day will Yahweh deliver your head into my hand. And Goliath, being the big giant that he was, where all of Israel put together was scared to come up against him, laughed. But we know the story. David cut his head off with his own sword that day, like Yahweh said. Now that's a mighty man, boy, that can tell you up front through somebody he's seen, whether you like it or not. That's the man I come to you representing, and you belong to him, whether you like it or not. You belong to Yahweh whether you know it or not. Now after you meet me and I'll let you know who you belong to, you can't escape because you don't like it. What you do is you say, I'm suffering, and then I show you why you suffer. And what's beautiful about Yahweh is you don't have to continue suffering. He shows us how you can stop suffering. Yahweh will make you sick. Yeah, God will make you sick. Boy, it sure seems God will make it. Yeah, that sure don't seem right. Well, there's a lot of things seem wrong to men. Huh? Proverbs 14:20. Proverbs 14:12. Proverbs chapter 12. Proverbs chapter 14:12. Read.
There is a way which seemeth right unto a man, but the end thereof are the ways of death.
So you thinking Yahweh is wrong is death for you. Why? Because what you think is right is death for you. This is Yahweh talking. Now I've come tonight and shown you how to get all the money on the planet Earth in your pocket. If my people, which are called by my name. 2 Chronicles 7:14. 2 Chronicles chapter 7, verse 14.
If my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land.
Before you get to and then, it requires some action on your part. Otherwise, you're not going to be heard from heaven. You must do what? Turn from your what? Your wicked ways. Turn. Turn means change. Change from what? Being wicked. What's a sinner? A wicked person. You say you sin, that means you've been doing wicked. And you admit you know it. Isn't that something? Can't accuse you of not knowing what's wrong. How many have done wrong? See, you know it. Look at that. Now, wrongdoing people are going to go broke. Tired of being broke? Yeah. See, when you get broke in your life, From now on, you will know you're broke because you're a sinner. And all the rest of these sinners, I'm going to break them too. That's Yahweh talking. And all you sinners that managed to accumulate some, anyway, all you accumulate is going into whose hand? The just. So you that want wealth are going to have to change. And instead of being unjust, you're going to have to be just. Just is a synonym for moral. It's one of the moral attributes. You've got to be moral. All in the world who want to be rich, you've got to change from your wicked ways. Turn from your wicked ways. And seek the one that's in town in the form of the Son of Man. Oh, yes, you do. I'm teaching you the secret of how to be rich. Forever, and your children to be rich forever. You won't ever have to worry about your children. Because if your children are righteous, they'll never be forsaken, nor will they have to ever bake bread. If you feel forsaken, it's because you're unrighteous. If you're being reduced to welfare and think that's slick, you're in a pitiful condition. If you think that's fantastic, anybody think living on welfare is fantastic is sick. You ever heard of poverty wages? Well, welfare is so far beneath poverty till it's just unbelievable. Anybody content to receive welfare for the rest of their life, and that's all they want out of life, and $79 worth of food stamps once a month? I mean, can you imagine eating on $79 a month? In the good times, you used to eat $79 every 3-4 days. Right? How many know times getting hard? Hey, for real, are you serious? How many know dollars don't buy as much as it used to? Your income is the same, but the prices keep going up. Anybody know prices going up? Yeah, up. You know, up. Every time price go up, you go down. But it doesn't have to be like that. All you have to do is change. That's all. Just change. All of my people who call on other gods are poor. Whatever God you call on beside Yahweh, you poor. You are poor. I said you are poor. You hear me? I said you are poor. And I don't care how you call on your God outside of Yahweh, he doesn't make you rich either. He must be deaf. He must have an earache or something. He don't hear you. Your God must be on a vacation or a journey. Because no matter how you call on him, he doesn't teach you how to be rich. And then you start talking about you're going to get yours in the by and by, but you don't want to go get it. Yeah? You ever notice? No, everybody who believes they're going to get rich after they die don't want to go get it. I mean, you notice? I mean, people hang around starving to death rather than go get it. At least you ought to go with the full stomach. What's so beautiful about Yahweh is you get it now. You don't have to wait. You come to Yahweh and you get rich as soon as you walk in the door. That's right. As soon as you open up the door and let me walk in, I bring riches with me because I'm rich. My reward is with me.